I hope you're here to play some Pazik.
Pazik.
So
I don't want to play some Pazik. Can I tell either of you about what I found out from that dude? I do have information for you, Shaeless. So you have done well. What have you learned? The Sith hired an Iridorian mercenary to lure the Selkath youth to the Sith. He's literally standing right there. You probably could have asked him yourself, to be honest. See, this information is useful for a start, but it does little to explain the truth of this matter. I must know what purpose the Sith had for these youths. Are they prisoners of the Sith? Are they even still alive? I must know more, human. I must know what has happened to my daughter. I'll look into it further. I cannot officially ask you to enter the Sith base. That would be a violation of Otto City's strict neutrality laws. However, I fear such a brazen act will be the only way to learn the truth. But entering the base will not be easy. If you should be captured or killed, I have to disavow any knowledge of your actions. I'll infiltrate the Sith base. I wish I could be more of help, human. I will wait here. Return to me when you have something more to report. We'll probably focus on the court stuff first.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers.
Aware of the Republic's indignation, however, witness reports clearly state your Republic soldiers were as willing to engage in violence as the Sith in this case.
They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight.
Taunts and threats are not sufficient provocation in the eyes of this court. Words can be ignored, which is what your men should have done. I find both the Republic and Sith to be equally at fault for this breach of the peace. I should throw all parties into the Otto City jail, but since no Selkath were involved in this conflict, I'll show mercy and levy a fine of 10,000 credits to both sides. The court is dismissed, though I warn you that further disturbances will not be viewed with such leniency.
I'm sick of hearing about Manon's neutrality. It sounds like a coward's excuse not to fight, if you ask
They're
me.
right there, buddy. What are you doing?
Manon should treat us Sith better. The Selkath have forgotten the lesson.
Again, everyone right there. I'm Judge Shelkar, acting on behalf of the Selkath government of Manon. It's my task today to answer the needs of the off-world citizens of both the Republic and Sith Empire. You have legitimate grievances within the party that you should speak to me. You should, however, first consult the Republic embassy before pressing formal charges. Is there something you wish to bring to my attention? Wouldn't know of young Selkath, maybe? Of course, unaware of any missing... Okay, that's fine. I would like to investigate the murder case involving Sunry. That is acceptable, I believe. In the non-legal tradition, the defendant can have an arbiter who tries to prove his innocence in court. What about a Ratath Vidun? This arbiter is a neutral party that can investigate and present evidence in the trial and argue on the defendant's behalf. As you are a Jedi, I believe you can fill the role adequately.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him.
So be it, you are now the appointed arbiter in the case of Sunry versus the Sith Empire. Your name and position have been recorded in our files. I will now inform you of the pertinent facts in this case. You have a limited amount of time in which to investigate and organize defense of your client, and I advise to do it wisely. Sunry was seen leaving a hotel, leaving behind a dead Sith woman, Alasa Huros. He's been charged with murder and is being held in the Otto City prison facilities. Due to his crippled status, he is being kept in solitary holding cell. Witnesses claimed to have seen the killing are being detained at the hotel in question pending the trial. The manager of the hotel has been informed of your appointment. Alasso was found dead with a blaster wound with an incriminating Republic medal clutched in her hand. This information has been uploaded to your datapad. It would be wise to review all information before the trial starts. You may question Sunry or the witnesses. The evidence in this case is heavily stacked against Mr. Sunry. I believe it will take some doing to absolve him of guilt.
Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
You may interview the judges here, including myself, to get an idea of pertinent factors in the case. Since this is also your first case, and you're an off-worlder, I feel compelled to add good luck as my final missive. I have a question about the trial. What do you think of Sunry? Sunry is known to us as a hero of the Republic in your perpetual conflict with the Sith Empire. While he may have been severely injured in the line of duty, I personally hold him in quite high regard.
Speaking of that injury, has it been taken into consideration, Your Honor?
In no way does a disability hamper him, though. Rest assured that my personal regard for Sunry will not affect my judgment. While emotion may rule your Senate, the cold, hard hand of the law rules here on mine. Is there anything else you wish to ask me, human? Is there anything suspicious about the case? Yes, there's something that has been bothering me. The medal that was found clutched in the Sith's hand. I find it most odd that such a blatantly incriminating piece of evidence would be left at the scene of the crime. We've analyzed the evidence and it does not appear to be a replica, but I have my doubts. In the midst of my crime, though, Sunry could have lost it. I have seen much more improbable things in my tenure in the course.
Simply because it was real does not mean Sunry would have overlooked it being in Elassa's hand.
Everyone's just flipping around. What do you think about the Republic and Sith Empire? The governing bodies of both states seek to help to keep an amicable relationship with our world in order to facilitate the exporting of content. I do not delude myself into thinking that either of your states hold any great love for us. But we are necessary, so you will let us hold our autonomy. I try not to concern myself with intergalactic policy. I find it stretches to the letter of the law too much for my taste. Is there something else that concerns you? Oh, that's it. What do you think of Sunry? Sunry is a great warrior in his time. He fought for the Republic against the Sith aggression and proved valorous. I have great respect for his accomplishments and find it tragic he finds himself in his current condition. If the Republic had more individuals like him right now, I do not think the Sith would be so great a problem for your people. Anything suspicious? I find it questionable that a man with such reputable past as Sunry would murder a Sith woman, especially not from behind. But knowing the Sith, there was probably some deception involved. They seek to do the same to us here. There's been much pressure by the Sith on our government, even on the judges themselves, to deliver a guilty verdict in this case. The letter of the law is absolute, and we will not be compromised for Sith power games. So, my only problem with this quest is that they make probably the most dialogue-heavy quest be with a very grating set of lines. What do you think of Sunry? I find the idea that some half-human cripple can murder someone as obviously competent as Sith Elassa questionable at best. A man who can barely walk killed a Sith warrior in her prime? Preposterous. I wouldn't put it past the Republic to try and arrange such circumstances to see her death. Sith are much more straightforward about their intentions. Is that all? Anything suspicious? I find it presumptuous to assume that the crippled Sunry could kill Elassa. I think there must have been another there who killed her, perhaps one of the witnesses. I do not know the reason for the medal clutched in Elassa's hand either, but it may have been that she fought them off even as she died. I think this may be the work of some Republic conspiracy, and I'm not afraid to say so. If the only means I have of hurting the Republic is through Sunry, then so be it. Jesus. That's a conflict of interest there. Is that all? What do you think of the Republic and the Sith Empire? I think the Republic is an institution in sore need of change. It's gone on too long, and the Sith are the fresh wind of change blowing across the galaxy. I do not believe in the false stories of the evils of the Sith Empire. They are nothing compared to the oppression and stagnation the Republic represents at its core. If I was given the power to decide, Manon would join the Sith, forcing the Republic to accept a new face in the future. But sadly, it would appear that I'm wiser and more far-sighted than my immediate superiors. I'm relegated to civil judicial matters. I will judge this case, and I will find Sunry as guilty as he has charged to me.
So nice to meet an impartial judge for a change.
No shit, Jeremy. Impartiality is one thing, blindness is another entirely.
You said it, not I.
You finished? Alright. That's good. I guess I'll walk all the way around. I suppose I must spend some time talking to you since you are here in an official capacity. What do you need? What do you think of Sunry? Do you think the Republic Masters would let someone go so easily? Someone so valuable? I think not. I think Sunry maintains his contacts with the Republic and seeks to escalate the situation here. Is there something else you require? Is there anything suspicious? I find this case to be fairly straightforward. Sunry is from the Republic, Alassa from the Sith. The Great Empire's battling now lived out their conflict through the missions to minions. What do you think of the Republic and the Sith Empire? I do not buy into the Republic line that this is some epic battle between good Republic and evil Sith Empire. The Sith Empire is merely an expansionist power, much like the Republic was early in its history. It's simply the turning of history where the old is swept away by the better new. Something intelligent you wish to know? No? Since you have been designated arbiter of land, what do you think of Sunry? Former officers regarded highly by your people. He's admired by your people here in Manon, and even seems to maintain some sort of relationship with them still. If he is as capable as the Republic citizens still believe him to be, he's certainly capable of actions that would result in this murder. Anything suspicious? I've often wondered if Sunry were so innocent, why was he then fleeing from the scene of the crime? Why would he have been running if he had not committed the crime himself, or was at least aware of what had occurred? This game seems fairly simple and obvious to me. The Republic types stick together, however, and I assume we will go to lengths to defend him. What do you think of him? Oh, already asked that. What do you think about the Republic and the Sith? Both empires are at fault for this current conflict. The Republic in the past for laying the foundations upon which the Sith Empire grew, and the Sith now obviously for starting the war. But no matter the wrongs that had been done in the past, the Sith now have no cause for renewing hostilities. It almost seems as if they just want to conquer everything. Oops.
Almost seems they do wish to conquer everything and will not stop at Manon. Why the Salkath believe themselves invulnerable, I have no idea.
I believe the Republic has every right to defend itself and drive the Sith back where they came from. Unfortunately for them, and perhaps for us, they do not seem to be doing a good job of it. Was there anything else you wanted to know? Nope. Alright. To the hotel! Get a room, guys. You may come and go as you please, Arbiter. You will find the door unlocked. If you wish to begin your trial, you must make the request with the wardens. It will then be passed on to the judges.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood!
Quiet off-world scum. Okay. Where's Sunry?
Jolee, what are you doing here? Allura sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Well, they made me an
Like
arbiter.
old times, eh, Jolee? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence can see that. Or so I thought. But the Salkath seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed.
Let's go over the evidence.
Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alassa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Alassa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alassa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you. Further, they say they found my heroes cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Selkath, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my Arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
I'm pretty sure he did it. No? Any idea where I should look for more evidence?
Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Selkath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with Offworlders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves.
You like having a...
Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my Arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
There's a few things we gotta clear up here, buddy.
Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide.
The judges said that you left after the shot was fired over here.
How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure.
I think there's one other thing we can do.
Oh. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the...
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit.
Can you tell me anything about Sunry?
He's a cripple.
Crap.
That's true. I'd forgotten about that. Let's not forget that he would have to have been considerably older than the Sith woman.
Are you saying someone your age can overpower a woman?
I'm a Jedi, and one who was living alone in the Shadowlands until recently. That keeps you in shape, damn it. We're talking about Sunry here.
And there's no way he would do something so
There's a lot of
horrible as
issues
hit her
with
from
this.
behind.
He's
Sunry's a decorated war hero. He's a hero of the Republic.
Don't worry, I'll save him.
Find the real evidence. That's all I have.
Alright. Let's hear out. To East Central. I think that's where we gotta go. Like I've done the quest before, but it's been so long.
Jolee, may I have a moment? There's something I wish to speak to you about.
Yep, I figured it was only a matter of time until we had the whole come back to the order discussion. Well, I guess there's no avoiding it now, so let's get it over with.
I know you have issues with the Order, but you are a Jedi, Jolee. You command the Force. Without the guidance of the Council, how can you avoid falling to the dark side?
Well, I've managed to avoid it the last 20 years or so. Besides, light side, dark side, they don't mean the same to me as they do to you. I don't see in absolutes.
I don't like any of these options. I guess this is the least, like, firm. He's gonna have a problem with Malak and the Sith.
I want to stop Malak as much as anyone. But I don't have to join the Order to do it. Look at Karth, or Canderous. They're with us in this quest, but they aren't Jedi. The capacity for good or evil, like the Force itself, is in all living creatures. And belonging to the Jedi Order, or the
I do
Sith,
want
or
to take
any group, won't change
Potentium
what you are
as a
at your
video
core.
for
I
dating.
see you were quite adamant. No doubt you've had ample time to think on this during your long seclusion. I guess it was foolish of me to think I could sway your position so easily.
Yeah, I'm old and stubborn. But I appreciate the effort. But from now on, you can just think of me as any other non-Jedi in our little group. With a lightsaber. And force powers.
That might actually be what I put out this weekend. Uh-oh.
Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Nope. Good job, guys. Who are you? A human. There are Selkath everywhere, but you choose to speak with me. Am I so different? Do you think I have answers others do not? Answers? What are you talking about? These are strange times. The Sith and Republic battle to control the galaxy, but their war destroys what they both seek to possess. The war sows fear and confusion. People are lost. They want guidance, direction. They have questions and they want answers. That's why I'm here. I too seek answers. Answers to what? The Republic, the Sith, the war, everything. Nothing. Answers are always the hardest to find when the questions are unclear, yet that does not stop us from searching. Okay. And so you leave, perhaps return, perhaps not. Yet I will remain here for my work is not done. Okay, buddy. Why do you bother me, human? I do not wish to speak to you. Why are you standing in a corner? I'm here for my own reasons. Those who know of me and wish to do business know I can be found here. Either do business with me or leave. Business? I trade and sell Pazak cards for those who have interest. If you have interest, then we can do business. Otherwise, leave. Okay. Timpedia was doing his whole Pazak player playthrough of KOTOR, but I'm not going to do that. Actually, I think it's East Central. Did you kill Alasa, leading droid? No? Did you kill Alasa? No, did you guys kill Alasa?
I have to stop talking to Sith. They make me want
You
to
look
break so
different.
many laws.
Those Sith are always trying to goad us. Why don't the Selkath stop them?
Of course they try to goad you. Don't be dumb.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want too.
Tell me what you saw the night of the murder.
The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was
people
going
st-
pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off.
Could it have gone off after he left?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court.
You could testify that it happened after he left?
No. No way I'm lying to the court just because you...
I could pay you $200 to say it?
No. No way.
Alright.
What do you want?
Who are the witnesses in the hotel?
There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally, I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Firith Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know?
What do you know about Sunry and Alasa?
Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on.
Alright. No more questions.
Well, okay.
Anyone still in the hotel? We can't actually go anywhere in the hotel. Oh, these are rooms? These aren't elevators? Are you serious? Okay. You here with Selkath? You have questions for Glupor? Glupor already say everything he knows. I have questions about the murder of Alasa. Glupor tells Selkath everything to Selkath. You not know? Glupor have no reason to say. Glupor tell everything. Everything about murder, everything about Sith Lady's room. Why were you at the hotel? Glupor's staying at hotel. Glupor not really rich. Hotel much too rich for Glupor to live at. But Glupor saved for weeks and have enough to stay here for a few days. Give Glupor's chance to live better for a while. What did you see? Glupor not see murder, oh no. Glupor did see Republic guy. The cripple, Sunry is named Glupor thinks. Glupor sees Sunry running away from scene of crime. Glupor see nothing else, nothing at all. Especially not in Sith Lady's room. What about Alasa's room? Glupor just curious to see what had happened. Glupor have no reason to go into room. No one paid Glupor to do it. Okay, that's suspicious. Did someone pay you to do something in that room, Glupor? How do you know someone paid Glupor? Well, a Sith man came up to Glupor after murder before Selkath arrived. He say he gave Glupor good money if Glupor put metal in Sith's hand. Glupor good. Glupor plant evidence and leave no trace, but Glupor did not recognize Sith man anyway. Glupor not recognize humans very well. No use to Selkath, so not bothered to tell them. Well, that and the Sith man say he killed Glupor if Glupor speaks. Oh no. Glupor think he can't talk more right now. Glupor feel the need to lie down. Maybe just stay here. Okay, well that...
Got something on...
Tell me about Sunry. How do you know him?
What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for
no one even said that.
I just mean he's not a friend.
I'm not going to assume you know everyone, even if I didn't think that.
Time, though. But to become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I knew. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Or so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. Well, I don't expect much these days.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me?
What did you know about Sunry and Alasa?
Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics, usually.
You mean Sunry was having a relationship with Alasa?
I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith Master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself.
Sith Master?
Oh, well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
What did you see?
Well, one time, I saw Alasa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open.
This is creepy.
Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alasa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that.
Alasa, a hero in Revan's Revenge? She was a Dark Jedi?
Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
Guys, can Jolie? Jolie.
What can I do?
What?
Here we go.
No problem. Didn't work.
When in doubt, bash the door out. Are you serious? I broke into this room for a med pack. Alright, I forget whether it's F4 or F5 to save. So, yeah, F4 to save. This happens every time. I just want to make sure I'm not gonna press the wrong one. And
You, Jedi. I hear you are investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface.
What do you mean?
This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunry and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes?
I think so.
I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies.
They just give it to me?
No, of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common
Revan is such an
market?
idiot.
You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
Alright, let's go to the Republic Embassy. I don't think there's anything in the Sith Embassy. Okay, Roland.
Welcome to Manaan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid.
I'm investigating the Sunry case.
I don't know much about the facts of the case, but I find it hard to believe. I never met Sunry, but he's a hero of the Republic,
political
not a
idealist,
murderer.
not a
The so-called
murderer.
evidence against him is an obvious frame-up. It has to be. The Sith must have plotted Sunry's downfall to embarrass and discredit the Republic.
Any chance the Republic's involved?
The Republic? Well, that makes no sense. Sunry has no enemies in the Republic, and his conviction will make all of our jobs more difficult. If you want to solve this mess, I would focus on the Sith. That or check out the murder scene at the hotel. Talk to the other guests. Maybe they know something. I regret I could not be of more assistance in your investigation. Is there anything else?
I have some questions. I'm on a mission from the Jedi Council. Perhaps you can help me with
Oh, of course. Of course, I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council.
I seek a star map, the remnant of an ancient and forgotten race.
An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manaan?
You know something?
Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first.
What? Come on, tell me.
No. You do what I want and maybe I can help you.
What do you want me to do?
We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Ahto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Faraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back.
Where's the droid?
It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manaan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones,
we have so many reasons to get in there.
Entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do.
How do I get into the base?
There are several leads we've been working
Sith
on to get
base,
into the Sith
not
base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far.
Interrogating the prisoner sounds good. Is there another way, though?
We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you...
Let's do that one.
It is a
So my
very
character's set
intelligent
up
and
for it.
skilled individual who can... But there is one last method you should know about. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith Masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith Enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a pass card to that hangar on him, while it is surely well guarded. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they be... Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the...
I'm going to decrypt the pass card.
Good choice. We've been working at that for... I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see about getting you that information.
I think Manon is like the longest one in the game.
So you're the one who's gonna try to get into the Sith base, eh? Huh, good luck, you're gonna need it.
There you
This is our main computer room here. We got the box of pass cards we got from the Sith, but we haven't been able to break their encryption yet. We have been able to decode the numeric system they use, but there are holes in our terminal sequence patterns.
What kind of holes?
The encryption system is composed of 6 matrices. Each is based on a mathematical method. The holes we're missing are the final number in each of the strings. Most are simple, but the final 2 matrices... Well, the second last matrix has a pattern looping back on itself, or something. And the last is divided into smaller subparts. Maybe the pattern for that is within each part. But I have to admit, all this is a bit over my head. I haven't even been able to slice past the first matrix, and I've been at this for hours. I've ruined a dozen cards already. But the good thing is we have a whole box of them, so you don't have to worry about running out anytime soon. Since Roland said you were cleared, you can use the computer freely. I'll be here if you have any questions.
Oh, that's my computer. Let's slice the Republic system. 100 spikes. What does this do? Anyways, access restricted data archives. Downloading Sunry Incident Archive. Success. Computer screen switches to a fisheye view from some sort of small surveillance device on a wall. As she walks further into the room, he softly closes the door, pulls a blaster, and shoots her in the back. This must be some sort of secret recording of Sunry murdering Alasa. Welp. What does this do for later?
Got something on you.
Well?
Oh, I get it. Let's play with the...
Yeah, but do I want to defend him well enough to get him off? Jesus. There we go. I mean, I technically murder Sith all the time in this game, but... So we'll finish off with Sunry, then we'll go into the, into crack the base stuff. And I kind of want to buy a 115 or 125 computer spikes so we can see what the turning off the power grid and opening the doors do. Am I going the right way?
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter.
Was Sunry having an affair?
Of course not. Yes. Yes, he was having an affair. He was seeing that Sith woman. After all these years we've been together, he just dropped me like that. Not publicly, oh no. But inside, that's what it feels like. He started seeing Alasa last year. I had my suspicions for a while, but he was careless. Pretty soon everyone knew. But even though I'm sure that harlot was only using him, I know he couldn't have killed her. He came and confessed to the affair to me. He said he was going there to break it off, to end it. Maybe the Sith woman attacked him, and he had to defend himself. But even though he cheated on me, inside he's still the man I loved. Love. He's too kind and gentle to have killed her in cold blood.
He's killed many Sith before.
That was a long time ago. In a war far, far away. He's changed now.
Alora's great.
Settled down. Oh, just please, prove his innocence.
Who is voice acting? Your husband might not be so innocent, Alora.
This is all a plot to discredit the Republic. Sunry is a victim of a Sith frame-up.
It's possible. I haven't seen Sunry since I crashed on Kashyyyk. A man can change a lot in that time. The man I knew could never have done this crime, however.
Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
A Phantom Menace? Empire at War? She voices Mon Mothma in Empire at War. That's why she sounds familiar. Okay. I mean, probably other stuff too.
Jolie!
I spent enough time in Empire
Coming to
War.
check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the Warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these 4 bare walls.
There are 4 walls? Aren't there 5?
I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role
your cage is
of arbiter
round.
cannot be taken lightly.
Yeah, there's definitely more than 4 walls here, buddy. Nothing is adding up with you. Let's go over the evidence.
Well, you know I was having an affair with Alasa. I went there to break it off that night. Well, I can tell you it wasn't easy. She was young and beautiful. But I love Alora. I knew I had to do it. I broke it off quickly as I could, and then I left. I found out later she'd been murdered when the Selkath authorities came knocking on my door. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you. Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Selkath, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
A few things we have to clear up.
Go ahead, ask.
There was a Rodian who planted evidence at the murder scene.
Rodian? I didn't know there were any Rodians on Manaan. Oh, except for Tyvark and this one named Glupar who was hanging around the hotel all the time. Okay, so maybe there are a whole bunch of Rodians on Manaan. But what does that matter? If he planted evidence at the scene, it's a clear sign of a frame-up. He probably took all the evidence of the real killer at the same time. The evidence of a Sith conspiracy keeps getting stronger, doesn't it? I suspect there's still stuff you want to... Go ahead, ask.
The judges said that you left after the shot was fired.
How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure. You should ask everyone.
Yeah, we already knew that. No.
Go ahead, ask.
I know you're guilty, Sunry. You've got the Republic's data recording.
So the truth is out. I never meant to kill her, you know. When I found out she was a Sith spy using me to gain information, that something inside me just snapped. She didn't know I had found out.
I thought she loved me
so
for my
I waited
creepy
until
self.
she fell asleep. And then I killed her. Simple, really. But once I realized what I'd done, I panicked. I contacted those spies from the Republic to help me.
All right, do we help him or
Found the
not?
illegal monitoring device that the Sith had planted in the room, altered its recording to hide my part in it, and cleared up the evidence. I figured that was the end of it.
The Sith found out the truth, didn't they?
The Sith must have been spying on me and Alasa, trying to make sure she wasn't a double agent. They must have seen the Republic spies getting rid of all the evidence. So they planted their own evidence. Alasa must have stolen that hero's cross from me long ago and given it to her Sith masters like some kind of trophy. I just thought I'd misplaced it. But when the cross turned up on her body, I knew the Sith had put it there. So, now you know the whole story. What are you going to do?
Thanks, Repik. Appreciate it. We'll go on with the trial. I fucking hate this guy, though.
But Sunry is a murderer. I'm sorry, old friend, but you are.
I'm glad you decided to...
Oh, Jolee wants to just hand it in, too? Okay. Let's do that. Law offworlders have a tendency to ignore the rules of law in favor of some rather irrational causes. What is it that I can do for you? Want to begin Sunry's trial? I don't want a trial just yet. Do I give the data pad to Chief Justice? Questions about the trial? Alright, no, we just go start the trial and then... Alright, I want to begin Sunry's trial now. Let's begin the trial. Very well, human, I shall advise the court and begin immediately. Let the record show that the trial of Sunry versus the Otto City Authority is commenced. Presiding are judges Shelkar, Joza, Aleshikin, Kota, and Dula. The trial is to determine the culpability of Sunry in the death of the Sith Alessa. Representing Sunry in the defense as a member of the Jedi Order, do you have any opening statements? Sunry is guilty of the murder. I have this recording as proof. A recording. Let this new evidence be entered in the records. Ah, this new evidence is most convincing. Yes, it seems to be. This shortens the trial considerably. In light of the new evidence, there is no need to proceed with the witnesses or cross-examination. This court hereby finds Sunry guilty of the murder of the Sith Alassa. In accordance with Selkath law, the prescribed punishment for murder is death. The verdict has been delivered and this trial is now over.
This is the will of the court, but it doesn't feel like justice to me.
You saw the...